Hello. So my name's Allison, and this is my husband, Jesse. I've been a member for like 11 years, so I'm surprised if I don't know everyone here by now, and Jesse's been a member for about 3. And we're going to do a brief presentation. It should last less than 10 minutes, just about all the technology that's recently in the church now. So we also have created a little handout in your bulletin that you can follow along and jot down questions along your way. There's also some detailed instructions on there for your reference, and if there's someone that you know that wants to listen to the podcast and doesn't know how, you can pick up another one of those sheets in the back sound booth at the end. So we're going to talk about the new sound system we have in the back, the podcast that's online. We're going to also talk about the website that we have and the portable speakers.
Okay, so we'll start talking about the sound system first. So the history of why changes needed to be made to the sound system. It started with the last business meeting that we had. So previously, John Crew had been burning CDs to take to individuals who were in rest homes who were unable to attend the church services. So he had mentioned that the individuals wanted to hear the music in addition to the sermon, and that was something that we were unable to previously do with recording the music onto CDs. And so Peggy had mentioned that she spoke to an audio professional about it, and he recommended that the church get a laptop or a computer to move forward with this. And Pastor Steve knew that I was in the IT field, so he had asked me if I could be in charge of the task, which I accepted. So now, I don't know if anyone has seen it back there. It's kind of hidden, but we use a computer in the back to manage the sound. So with the computer, we can play music and record it at the same time, which is something that we couldn't do before. The program that we are using to record the sound is called Adobe Audition. And, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. So this allows us to edit anything in post-production, remove prayer requests or any other sensitive information that gets said during the service. And because we edit it after the service, podcasts and USB drives are always going to be a week behind. And this has given us the ability to create podcasts using a website called Spreaker. So we can also copy the MP3 files of the sermon onto a USB drive to be given to those who are unable to attend church, just as John Crew had done previously with the CDs. So though a lot had to change from the previous system, I've tried to future-proof the system as a whole, and I opted to build a computer rather than to use a laptop, because as time progresses and technology advances, the parts inside a computer can easily be upgraded and changed out, while laptops are generally more expensive and difficult to switch the parts out, and there's only a couple parts you can actually switch yourself generally. So the way that it's built, it should be good for a good amount of time. So now we'll talk about the podcast. So I don't know if you guys know what a podcast is, but essentially what it is it's kind of like a TV episode but with no visuals. So there are many people and organizations, including churches, that already use podcasts. So now we're able to be heard by anyone on the internet at any time, which is really cool. So this is a form of outreach in itself. As you may have heard Pastor Steve mention last week, his brother Gary can hear the sermon wherever in the world that he is. Al has a relative in New Mexico who is hours away from a church and is telling us that she appreciates hearing such a good message and a good service. So any of your family or friends who are unsure about attending church can also hear it for themselves. So you never know how many people will listen to the podcast and really feel a blessing or even get saved from it. So I just want to run through some of the available services that you can use to listen to the podcast from your smartphone. If you have an iPhone, the easiest way to do this is to go to the silvergrovebaptist.weebly.com website. And then you'll see a subscribe to podcast via iPhone button underneath the most recent service. And if you have an Android, the best way to do it is to download an app called Spreaker, which is the service that we're using for the podcast. And you can get the Spreaker app from the Google Play Store. So if neither of those would work for you, we are getting the podcast on iHeartRadio and Spotify eventually. So we'll keep you updated on the progress, and if you want to learn the detailed instructions for getting the podcast on your phone, you can see the handout that was included in today's bulletin. I'm also available after church at any point if you just want to ask me, so I can help you out with it. Now back to Alice.
Okay, so previously we had a website, which was silvergrovebaptist.com, and some of you may have visited it. It was a functioning, working website, but it did lack the features that we needed to add in the podcast functionality. So when I was in graduate school at Wright State, I actually ran a few of their web pages. So I think it was Jim mentioned that the website needed updating, and so I was really excited about that. So as you may already know, I created a new website. It is silvergrovebaptist.weebly.com. So we're transitioning away from the old website address, which was just the silvergrovebaptist.com, but eventually the two domains will merge, and you'll be able to see my new layout on the old website address, but I'll let you know when that actually happens. So if you have your smartphone on you, feel free to visit this website as I go through it. All right, so here is Silver Grove's new website. As you can see, there are a few tabs at the top that we have home, about us, visit us, calendar, and podcasts. So on the home page, you can see the times of our weekly worship. You can see last week's sermon. So this is a really easy way for you to access it on your computer and listen to it. And here's the subscribe to podcast via iPhone button that Jesse mentioned. Here are upcoming announcements, which is what you would see in our bulletin. And I make sure to remove all prayer requests and things that might be sensitive in nature. And here is a calendar of events at a glance. So you can see fireworks at Camp Kirkwood and upcoming events. So on the About Us page, you will see a picture of our church. So this is really good if you have anyone that's interested in visiting. They can see just a brief summary of our beliefs, history, and mission, a brief bio of Pastor Tufts, and our purpose, which I got directly from our church constitution. Visit Us has the website, or has the address, has the phone number, and a map. Few FAQs about attending church. Calendar is just a detailed look at what's going on. And then podcasts this is the archive of podcasts. So you can go through, you can look on the left side are sermons, so Sunday sermons, and then on the right side are Bible studies. So that's about it. So yeah, if I went too fast for anyone, or you just want another refresher on what I've been going over, this will actually be on the podcast for next week. So you can go to this website and look it up and listen again. So next, we're going to talk about the portable USB speakers. So here's what they look like. You may have seen them on a table in the back. So as Jesse mentioned earlier, we're able to put MP3 sound files of the Sunday service onto USB drives. And if you're unfamiliar with a USB drive, it's like a little memory stick. And some people call them flash drives, thumb sticks. It's all the same thing. So this is what we're using now to deliver the Sunday service to those who are unable to attend church and also have no internet access. Because if they did have internet, they could always go to our website, which would be really easy. So these are primarily the elderly individuals or individuals with disabilities who have a hard time getting to church. So this is replacing the old system of burning lots of CDs and giving them to people, because CDs kind of have a one-time use, and this method saves the church some money in the long run. So if you're a member of the church, you can check out a portable USB speaker to take to your loved one who needs access to the sermon. There is a sign-out sheet in the back on the wall by the sound booth, and each portable USB speaker has a number written on the side. So just write your name next to the number of the speaker that you take and grab an instruction sheet. And make sure if your loved one's situation changes, just bring back the USB speaker so that somebody else can check it out. Otherwise, your loved one can hang on to the USB speaker as long as they want to utilize it. So each week, I prepare a number of the USB drives that have the Sunday sermon on them. If you are one of the individuals who has a portable USB speaker checked out, make sure you come back to the sound booth at the end of the service to pick one up for this week. So every week you'll come back to the sound booth, you'll drop off the previous USB stick that your loved one has already listened to, and I will give you a new one. So we'll just make a little trade. And currently we are not putting the Wednesday night Bible studies on USB drive, but they are available online. So does anyone have any brief general questions for the good of the order? If anyone has any specific questions, you can come back. Yes?
Allison, the Wi-Fi is now encrypted, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you want to share the encryption key so that if anybody would like to use the Wi-Fi, they would have that available?
Yes. So the Wi-Fi is, I think it's just Silver Grove.
Silver Grove 1, capital S.
And we have that posted in the fellowship hall on the bulletin board, just for reference for everyone. Yeah, Silver Grove 1 with a capital S and a capital G in Silver Grove.
Number 1.
Number 1. Yeah, thanks. Anything else? Yes. Thanks, Vicki. Yeah. So if you actually like our Facebook page, every week, well, twice a week, when we upload our podcasts, it will actually automatically go to Facebook, and you'll see it on your timeline, on your news feed, that Silver Grove has uploaded a podcast. So even from there, if you're on your computer or on your phone, you can access the podcast. So yeah, thanks, Vicki. Anything else? All right. Okay. So thanks everyone for allowing us to kind of serve you in this capacity. This is something that we think is actually really fun. And thanks to everyone who has helped us in this process with learning and answering questions and all that. We are continuing to learn about it, so it's definitely been a journey. And thanks, Pastor Steve, for giving us some time to talk about this.
You're welcome.
If you have any questions or any suggestions of things we could do in the future, there is my cell phone, so you can text me or call me if you have any questions. And then also there's my email if you want to just send me an email. Well, I kind of don't want everyone on the internet having my phone number, so that is why. But if you're sitting here, you can see it, or if you can't see it, you can ask me at the end. So there we go. Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, give them a hand. Thank you. All right. All right. Now, you talk about Facebook and you talk about our website. And so far, you haven't said you put a picture of me on anything. I invite you to keep the pictures of me off of that, because that would certainly be enough to scare people away, all right? But we are still a little country church, amen? But we have to step into the 21st century because of the recordings and being able to be heard by others that can't get to church. So what a fantastic gift these two are, right? And I'll still call them the kids. Job. So, all right, let's take our hymn books, and we've got a story to tell to the nations. Did you know that? Wait a minute. We have a story to tell to the nations. Did you know that? All right, so it's number 446. Let's sing the first and last stanzas of We've a Story to Tell to the Nations, and ushers, if you'd be prepared to come and take up our offerings, please. Pretty song. I like this song. 1 and 4.